Hey guys, so if you've been following this vlog closely at all, you would have heard me say in my last video that I was making the switch from daily vlogs, so every single day, to 3 vlogs a week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday posts. And if you haven't been following this vlog, now you know. So I just made that change, but yesterday I had a day to myself where I didn't have to film and edit a vlog, which means like 6 or 7 hours freed up. And I used that time to go for a run. I ran like 16K around Bannock Lake. That was the first run of a distance like that I'd done in some time, and I felt really, really good after. I mean, my knees were sore, but I felt really good mentally. I also went out and had some ramen with friends, so it was nice to just chill out and do that. And I also got some sleep, which was nice. New schedule, so far so good. I also have something else I want to update you guys on quickly. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen some stories where I was asking if anyone had any milk crates. So we're still working on this new office here, and we got a lot of milk crates. So huge thanks to Steph Ogilvy from Brooklyn Warehouse and my friend Jeremy Waterman from Low Point Coffee, because they hooked us up with a ton of these. I think we've got like almost 40 now. So I want to build this kind of like crate wall sort of thing. We might do some more of that over here, but I think we want to get a little bit more creative as well. So might take some of them. So I've got some right here. Might take some like this and get some cushions and kind of make some furniture that we can like manipulate, you know what I mean? So have like a longer bench, or like make a little table out of them if we get some planks that we can put over top. So yeah, not entirely sure what we're going to end up doing with these yet, but I think it's gonna be cool. I don't know how good of a look at my lightings. Woo! I don't know how good of a look you guys just got at my lighting setup, but if you didn't get a very good look, and I'll know when I edit this, I'm not gonna show you yet because I'm gonna save that for a whole other video. That's pretty much the only way I hydrate around here. I always tell myself that I'm going to drink water throughout the day, but I just end up not drinking any and then chugging a whole bottle, feeling kind of gross, and then doing the same thing like 4 hours later. It's not a very good setup. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, on to what I actually want to talk about today. And so today, I want to focus on the concept of taking the leap. And when I say taking the leap, I mean taking some sort of creative outlet or passion or what have you and turning that into something real that you use to support yourself. So this is a topic of discussion, of conversation that seems to just be coming up over and over again, whether it's with my friends or with complete strangers. And I don't think it's any secret that this is a hot topic right now, not only, but especially for millennials. So I thought that I would share my thoughts and my experiences on the subject of taking the leap. So about a year, maybe a year and a half ago now, I left a full-time job to pursue video production full-time, to work for myself full-time. And I can remember being met with a lot of congratulations about taking the leap, people suggesting that it was a brave thing to do or a courageous thing to do to take on all this risk. But to be honest, in my opinion, the way I saw it anyway, there really wasn't that much risk involved because I'd worked so hard on this thing on the side that when it came time to actually make that decision, the amount of money and opportunity that I had on the table in video production had pretty much matched what my salary was going to be for that year anyway. So it was more of a no-brainer than a courageous leap. But I would say that the only real leap that I took, the one that I think is deserving of congratulations and the one that I'm really proud of, was the leap to fully, and I mean fully, commit myself to creating a new life and to pursuing this passion. And so when I talk about fully committing, I think that this is the point where a lot of people are hesitant and a lot of people get stuck. Most of these conversations follow a very similar structure. Someone asks for advice on how I managed to turn my passion into what I do for a living, and the answer, my answer anyway, what actually worked for me, is pretty simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's super hard, but it's simple. The answer, my answer anyway, is that you have to dedicate yourself to this pursuit fully. For these purposes, in describing what it means to commit fully, I'm only going to draw on my own experiences because that's all I have. I'm not an expert, I can only talk about what has worked for me. So when I say that I dedicated myself fully to pursuing this passion, here's what I mean. I didn't leave my full-time job right away and just start pursuing this full-time because that wasn't possible at all. I was like $40,000 in debt, and I needed that full-time job to survive, to pay my bills, to pay for food, and to pay for rent. I could have lived at home with my parents, but I wanted to be in the city where the creative people were and where things were happening, and I wanted to be alone. So I got the crappiest little bachelor apartment in the north end of Halifax, the cheapest one I could find, and I just made it so that it would not be comfortable at all, and so that all I would do in this apartment was work. I had a single bed, I had a desk, and that's pretty much it. This was just a place that I was going to sleep, eat, and work. And I was lucky enough at this point to know what I wanted, and sometimes that's the hardest part. What I wanted was to get paid to make videos, but I sucked at making videos, and I couldn't convince anyone to pay me to do it, so I decided that I was just going to make a video every day until I got good enough at it that people wanted to pay me to do it. And so like I said, I was still working full-time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But once I got home, and sometimes before work, I would go out and film stuff and use all of those hours to film and to edit and to post online. And this seems to be where most people, again, are getting stuck. It's usually something like, yeah, I want to do my own thing, but I don't have any time. I have a full-time job, and so I have no time to work on it. But it's like, well, yeah, you do, because there's 7 hours between 5 p.m. and midnight, so that excuse just doesn't really work. And then most times, once someone acknowledges that they do in fact have that time, the next barrier is something like, oh, well, I'm too tired after work, I don't have the energy to do it. And so here's the thing about that barrier, and it took me a long time to figure this out, and people really don't like hearing it, but it's the truth. And that's that no one cares. Like, if your dreams and your biggest dreams and your biggest goals just die, like they don't go anywhere, they just completely die, nobody cares. The reality is, people are so concerned with themselves and their own needs and wants that they don't have time or energy to care about your goals. So it's entirely up to you to decide how important this thing is to you. Like, is it more important than your sleep? Is it more important than your diet? Is it more important than spending time with your friends? Because the thing is, it has to be. And at a certain point, I had to make the really hard decision that this pursuit was more important to me than those things, than my sleep, than my diet, and then time with my friends, because I knew that I was never going to be happy unless I figured this out. So for a good chunk of time, my reality was that I slept maybe 5 hours a night, if that. My diet was total crap because I just didn't have time to worry about that, and I didn't really spend any time with my friends, and dating was pretty much entirely out of the question. There is so much talk about achieving balance, and that's something that I'm actually working really hard on right now because I have achieved some of my goals, and I find myself in a new reality that I'm settling into, and I'm trying to figure out what works best for me. But here's the thing, I honestly really just believe that in the beginning, in the nascence of pursuing this new passion or this new business or this new creative outlet, whatever it is, that it's going to consume so much of your time, so much of your being, so much of your energy, that to think that you're going to achieve balance from the jump is a complete joke. You have to take care of yourself to a degree, like you have to keep yourself alive. You have to sleep sometimes, and you have to eat decently well, otherwise you're just not going to be able to function at all. But to think that you're going to be able to work a full-time job, build something real on the side, and that you're going to get 8 hours of sleep a night, and that you're going to maintain a perfect diet and a perfect exercise regimen, like, that's just not going to happen. I don't think that's possible. That's a fairy tale. I could be wrong, but I honestly just don't think that anyone does that. I do not think that that exists. And if it does, the only way that that seems possible is either A, if the person was just naturally so super talented that they were able to just pick it up and run away with it right away, or they were super privileged in either having parents with money so that they had capital to start their business with and they never had to balance that full-time job with trying to pursue their passion, or maybe they had a spouse who was able to support them. But in those cases, those are anomalies, and I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about everybody else, like the 22-year-old student who's crippled by debt, or the 35-year-old who just hates their job and needs something new. Or maybe the person who wasn't even lucky enough to go to school and get that debt. I'm talking about those people. And again, I'm not an expert by any means, but if you're looking for a blueprint on how to turn your passion into your livelihood, I think that the real leap is to fully commit, to make the decision that nothing is more important than that goal. And then, from my experience anyway, maintaining that commitment for as long as it takes until it makes a ridiculous amount of sense to leave your day job and to pursue that passion full time. It's really friggin' simple, but it's really friggin' hard. Anyway, that's all I've got for today, guys. Thank you for watching. And on that note, you know what else is really friggin' simple? And it's not hard at all? Giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hitting the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to follow along. Maybe leaving a comment and letting me know where you're watching from. I always appreciate those. I appreciate your support in watching the whole way through. And if you're in the middle of taking a leap of your own or prepping to take that leap, good luck and have a great day.